So thank you so much for sharing those. And yeah, keep them coming. You can do more than one too. I've seen a lot of great ideas here. So thank you, everyone.
And I think we'll turn it over to Susie to do welcome and introductions. Susie's our fearless leader for the MHC. So.
Chris, you'd like to get started now? That would be just fine, unless you want to wait a few more minutes for people to pop in. It's entirely up to you.
I think we could just as well. Yeah, we could wait a couple more minutes, I guess.
Okay. All right, sounds good.
I still have registrations coming in.
Awesome. For those folks who just joined us, we're sharing in the chat our favorite ways to relax. So check those out and scroll up to see all the great ideas.
Chris, I think I will get started. We have people who are going to be rolling in and out of our conference all morning, so I think we'll get started. So of course, good morning and welcome to the Minnesota Healthcare Consortium's 2022 Spring Wellness Virtual Conference. We have over 650, and Chris, correct me if I'm wrong, members throughout the state who have registered, and we're getting close to 200 here who are currently logged in. As a reminder, this conference will be recorded and shared with all of you who have registered to present to you. But first, I'd like to introduce our statewide MHC Wellness team. Chris is located in the northwest section of the state at the Northwest Service Co-op.
I'm Chris Wavra from the Northwest Service Co-op. And if you're hearing the recording started and stopped, we are going to be recording each individual session separately. So you will hear that a couple times throughout the morning. So just so you know why that's coming in and out. And then all the videos will be posted to the MHC YouTube channel. And I will send recording links out to you after the conference. And I also, one more thing, I will be posting a link in the chat towards the end of the morning with the evaluation link. And when you fill that out, you will get the certificate of attendance with that upon completion. So that will be coming, and I'll email it as well.
Thank you very much, Chris. Chris and the whole team here have done a lot of work to get this conference together. So again, thank you. Moving south, we have Reese at the Lakes Country Service Co-op.
Hi, I'm Reese at Lakes Country Service Co-op as an insurance and wellness specialist.
Continuing south, we have Carly from the Southwest West Central Service Co-op.
Carly Bachman, Southwest West Central, also an insurance and wellness specialist.
All right, if I know my directions correctly, we're going to move east to Hannah at the South Central Service Co-op.
Morning, everybody. Manager for Wellness and Marketing Communications. Thank you so much for joining us.
And then we're going to continue east with Nicole at the Southeast Service Co-op.
Thanks, Susie. Hi, everyone. Good morning. I'm Nicole LaChapelle-Strumsky, And we're so happy you're here. We put together a great morning for you. So enjoy.
So we're going to head back north, and Brittany is your contact at the Resource Training and Solutions. She's not here with us this morning. I don't see her anyway, but that's who your contact is there at Resource in the center of the state. And then completing the circle, I'm Susie Rupert, and I'm located in the northeast section of the state at the Northeast Service Co-op, of course, working with insurance and wellness. Again, thank you to everyone who's registered for the conference and who is attending this morning. So let's get started. Nicole, I'm going to pass the welcome to you to introduce our first presenter.
Great. Thank you, Susie. All right. So I'm excited to introduce Stacia Parkin. She's owner and financial coach at Financial Foundations Coaching. She began working in the financial industry in 2014, but her love for personal finance started way before she ever knew she could work with people and their money. She's always been a saver, but she also really loves to spend money on things that do bring her joy. She'd also often find herself having to choose between the two and thought there must be another way to go around enjoying money while still saving for the future. Stacia's done some amazing things. This just blows my mind what she's done. She's paid off over $45,000 in student loans in 3 years, making 38 grand a year. She's paid cash for her last 2 vehicles and now is looking into purchasing her first home. And Stacia shares that money does not need to control your life. And by working with her clients, she can show them how to take back control of their lives and start enjoying money again. And I'm now going to turn it over to you, Stacia.
Wow, I even smiled a little bit at that. I was like, I still can't believe I did that. But good morning, everybody. As Nicole said, I'm Stacia Parkin, owner and financial coach at Financial Foundations Coaching. So I did get into the finance industry in 2014. I actually started out as an intern at Ameriprise Financial and I still work there today. So I'm a financial analyst there. And then I also have my business on the side. So you can definitely tell I love the finance world and helping people with their money because my normal job and my side job are both in the same industry. So the biggest thing when it comes to financial wellness, and I mean, just any type of wellness in life, is knowing what you want. So financial wellness, just like any other type of wellness, whether it be mental health, actual health, physical health, it's all individualized. So this presentation is going to be kind of generalized, but what I really want you to think about as I'm going through this is how can I apply these 7 steps to financial wellness to my life? How can I really get intentional with my spending, with my savings? And how can I, like I said, apply this to my life and really make the biggest impact? Because what worked for me, making, $38,000 a year and paying off student loans, may not work for you, and you may be making more than that. So really applying it to where you're at, where you want to be. Maybe you have a family. So working that into your life is really going to be the best thing you can do as we get into this and start thinking about that. So let me see if I can share my screen here. And I was the one that pressed the recording button, so sorry about that. I'm not very technically savvy. So let's see here. Okay, so can everybody see my screen?
Yes.
We good? Okay, perfect. And I am not one of those presenters that wants you to wait until the end to ask questions. You totally can. We do have time for that. But if something kind of strikes you as we're going through this and you really just want to ask, I think there's a raise your hand feature. Otherwise, just put it in the chat and we can get to it right while we're on that slide, because your story can also help me explain something that might be beneficial for somebody else on the call. So as I said, Stacia Parkin, these are the 7 keys to financial wellness, according to me. So you can obviously find a bunch of stuff online, but these are kind of the top picks that I've noticed throughout my time in the finance industry and then working with my own clients as well. So a little bit about me here. As Nicole said, money is an amazing tool that can bring us joy, happiness, but it can also leave a lot of us, myself included, feeling very stressed out, fearful and anxious of the future, or, even what's going to come up in May? Am I going to have the funds to cover it? So by sharing my story, working with my clients, and then also having all of you on the call, I hope that we can, bring back some joy when it comes to money and some control, because we all love control. And then we can start enjoying it again, because it really is an amazing thing that can bring our lives joy. And we can also bless others with it as well through charitable giving. So I want to start out today with the number one question I get from my clients and anybody who finds out that I work in the finance industry. This is the one question I get almost right off the bat. And it is, where does my money go? Can you tell me where my money is going? So many people don't know where their money is going. They know they make money every single month, and then they should have enough theoretically to cover, all the bills that they have coming in plus spending some. But how many of you really actually know where every cent of your paychecks are going? Not many of us can say that. I can sometimes. This month was a little crazy, just because it's getting to be spring, but I really try to do like the Dave Ramsey style zero-based budget. So that's what I kind of incorporate with some of my clients as well. But as we go through this, I want you to think about that question and where is your money going? And do you know where it's going? Okay, so what does financial wellness mean? So financial wellness to me is having control over your month-to-month finances. So you know what you have coming in, you know when it's coming in, and then you also know what is going out. So I can't tell you how many of my clients tell me, yep, I have X, Y, and Z bills, but they don't know what day they get pulled from their checking account or when it gets auto drafted from their credit card. So many people know they have a $600 car payment, but they don't know when it comes out. So actually having control of that and knowing when you need funds in your account so you don't get overdraft fees is going to be huge. Second is the ability to absorb a financial emergency or a shock. So I do have a statistic in here a little bit farther down on another slide, but not many Americans can cover a financial emergency of at least $1,000 without having to use some form of credit. So that statistic was very alarming for me. So this is just one aspect of financial wellness that I wanted to touch on because it is an important one. Third is being on track to meet your financial goals. So first off, we need to have financial goals. So that is a big thing that many of my clients come to me and say, I just want to be debt free. Okay, that's a great goal, but we have to be granular about it. So that's what I really help my clients do, is get granular on their financial goals and how we can actually meet those. And then last but not least is having the financial freedom to make the choices that allow you to enjoy life. So on here, you can see I have a picture of a beach with a beach chair. So whether that means you want a vacation or you want to winter somewhere else after you retire, if you want to rent an RV, I've heard that before. My clients wanted to do the whole van life. So what was that going to look like for them? And then also potentially you might want to buy a cabin to make more memories with your family. So that this is kind of the well-rounded bit of financial wellness and what it means to me. And now we'll get into the 7 steps of it. So where do we begin? It all starts with intentionality. So by definition, being intentional is to be deliberate and you're doing something on purpose. So when I was putting this presentation together, I was thinking, what got me to be intentional about my finances? And it was my belief that I didn't want to owe people money. So let's take into consideration when I was paying off my student loans. So my belief was I didn't want to owe somebody over $45,000 for 10 plus years, because that's what Sally Mae told me it was going to be to pay my loan back, was 10 years. So my belief and my desire to pay that off before then is what really made me get intentional. So as you can see, I had both of those, which brought me to intention. And then once you have that intention, it's going to light a fire in you, and then it's going to bring you to action. So the 7 keys to financial wellness are going to be a mixture of action steps we can take, logistics, and then also planning for the future. So the first one is embracing curiosity and challenging your money mindset. I cannot tell you how many clients come to me that are fired up, they're amped up to pay off debt, to get their savings in place, maybe start contributing to their work sponsored 401k or 403b plan. But they still have that money mindset of, well, no, I don't want to do the work each month. I don't want to know where my finances are going. I don't want to have to build a budget, but I want all these other things. So you can't really get both. It's not you can have your cake and eat it too. You're going to have to do the work, and you're going to have to get curious about ways that will help you get that work done. So, and then embracing the curiosity of, okay, what is actually possible? Can I potentially do 10% into my work retirement plan? What is that going to do to my monthly cash flow? So getting curious about stuff like that, and then changing your mindset around once you decide to do something, your new thought. So like I put on here, new thoughts are going to lead to new results. So if you keep doing what you're doing, you're going to keep getting what you're getting. Next is communication. So this is, I should have put this one first because this is probably the biggest one. Whether you're single or you're in a relationship, communication, not only with your finances, is key. So in the chat box here, I want to get everybody going because I know it's still early in the morning. So, but let's put in there. So how many of you, whether you're married, whether you're single, whether you have an amazing support group, how many people in your life know what your financial goals are at this moment? So do you have people supporting you during your financial journey, and whatever it might be, whether it's to pay off debt, which is a lot of the clients I work with, whether it's to start saving more for your 401k, your 403b, or maybe you want to go into van life and, you know, not have kind of, I call it nomad life, and not have a steady base home and just be able to travel and work remotely. So let's write in there how many people know about our financial journey, what our goals are, and then if they're helping you along this way. Like you're going to need people to support you during this, because life does get in the way, kind of smacks you in the face a couple of times. So we need that really good support system, because when you get crystal clear with what you want, not only with yourself, which is, you know, the biggest part of this, also letting the people know around you is a game changer, because they can support you like that. That's why we have our loved ones. We're human. We're a group culture. As much as we all try to be by ourselves sometimes and stand alone, we do need others to support us and help us along the way. So communication is a really big step on your journey to financial wellness, whatever it might look like to you. Having people in your corner that support you is a really good way to actually make sure you finish what you started, and then you know, always level up your goals. You might get some new goals from people. So communication is a really big one. And then improvement. So this is not going to happen overnight. A lot of us like to think that, myself included. I was very upset. It took me 3 years to pay off my student loans, but it's not going to happen overnight. And I didn't have, you know, over $45,000 just sitting in a bank account to pay it off. If I did, I wouldn't have been in debt. So, and a lot of us think that our journey is going to be like this picture up here, point A to point B. I can tell you firsthand experience and with working with my clients, that is absolutely not true. It looks way more like this one down here, where you have the idea, you have the motivation to get it going. You're working hard, but life happens. Life gets in the way. Maybe you get in a car accident, or you have to take on some extra debt that's going to set you back. So you have your distractions. You're going to feel like I don't want to say a failure, because you're not, but you're going to feel disappointed. You're going to feel like you got, you know, knocked 5 steps back when you're trying so hard and scraping so hard to get past this spot. And you're going to have the unhappy times. But also, if you continually upgrade your mindset and work on that and lean on those people, like I said in the last slide with communication, let those people know what happened. Let them be your venting, you know, group there for it. And then how can you work past it? The biggest thing for my journey and what I help my clients kind of work past is dwelling on it. So yeah, we all have setbacks. I mean, I had a lot of car trouble when I was trying to get out of debt. As you know, just getting out of college, I didn't have the nicest car. So I had a lot of payments that I had to do for that. I had to get tires, you name it, it probably happened to my car. So there were so many times where I just did not want to keep on my debt paying off journey. And I just wanted to go on vacation and I just wanted to stop it. And, maybe Sally Mae wasn't wrong and it can take me 10 years to pay off my student loans. That's fine. But by leaning on my support system and really getting strong with what I wanted really helped me get back on the path to success. So that improvement, communication, and, continually upgrading your money mindset and getting curious about ways that you can maybe scrimp and save, or maybe you can spend less money or do things that are outdoors that are free. So it's really going to bring, I want to say, some fun times for you, and it's just going to get your imagination going again, like when we were kids. So the next one is systems. So this is more of the logistic side of financial wellness. So it's great to have all these goals and everything, but how are we going to track this? So this is the part where I like to get really granular, like I said, with my clients. So have a goal planning session with yourself and or your significant other if you're in a relationship. Maybe you are single, but you want to have a goal planning session. Ask your parents, ask your siblings to say, hey, this is what I'm thinking. How do you think I can go about doing it if you really don't know? Asking for other people's opinions can be a double-edged sword though, because I know when I was paying off debt, not everybody was very supportive of it because there was a lot of things that I couldn't do or chose not to do because I was on this journey. So having that goal planning session, with yourself, with your significant other, maybe with family members is great. But also if you are reaching out to other people, make sure you're not, fully relying on what they say, because it could be vastly different than what you want. So part of the systems, you're going to want to create a budget at the end of the month or the beginning of a new month. So I do, to this day still, I budget. I've already made my budget for May. I looked up what I had coming up in May. I have a couple things. I have, my dog has a vet appointment. She's going to training camp at the end of the month. So all those things I'm building into my budget now, way before I even get my first paycheck. So that way I know I can kind of pre-track my expenses. And I will tell you this, I've been doing this for, since 2014, even before that. I still use an Excel spreadsheet to track my expenses because it really helps me know where all my money is going. But there are other ways that you can track your expenses if you don't want to use, a pen and paper and Excel spreadsheet. There's Mint, there's Every Dollar, there's Pocket Guard. There's so many different apps out there to help you track what you're spending, which is really going to be the biggest part of making sure you're on pace with your financial goals. All right, so this was just an example of a monthly budget. So some people think, okay, I make $4,000 a month. I am fine to do whatever. I'm fine, to get that new car. Like I want to lease a car. $450 a month isn't going to be anything. I can afford that. Well, if you look at the average mortgage for Americans right now, this interest rate is a little outdated now because it's rising. But the average mortgage, $1,600. The average American auto loan on a lease vehicle is $450. And then you have all the usual day-to-day spending, month-to-month spending that we have in our life. And this is not including any student loans. This is not including any, if you have credit card debt, making your payments on that. And as you can already see, this person is over budget. So this is where we often get into trouble, and that I see with my clients is they'll tell me, oh, I just got a new car. Okay, what's your monthly payment? $600. Yikes. I mean, it's not bad if you have the income to, absorb that. But when you add in all the other things that many of us don't think about, it doesn't always work out. The numbers don't lie. And I think that's why I really like budgets and working with clients and their finances, because money is a numbers game essentially, and numbers don't lie to me, at least. So actually having a monthly budget, and it could be as simple as this. It does not have to be intricate. It does not have to be. Okay, my personal favorite is the emergency fund. So like I said before, statistic here, only 39% of Americans say that they can cover a $7,000 expense without using a credit card or taking on some other form of debt. That is astronomical to me. And how many of you knew that? Like when I was looking up that statistic, it just blew my mind, because I mean, I work in this industry. I think, oh yeah, like, we could all do that. That's not too much. But no, for a lot of people, that is a lot of money. So how do we combat that? Because life does happen. Life's going to smack you down sometimes, and you're going to have to get back up. So without getting taken too far off your financial goals or the financial path that you're on, we want to have a little bit of savings. So how much should you be saving, and what should you be saving for? So ideally, once you're out of debt, you want to have 3 to 6 months of emergency funds saved up. So you can see down here that I listed some expenses to include, which is your mortgage, your utilities, groceries, and then just other household necessities that are going to keep you and your family safe. So, you got to keep the lights on, you got to keep food on the table, you got to keep actually paying your rent or your mortgage so you can have a house to come home to. If you are an avid Dave Ramsey listener, he tells you while you're in debt, you only have $1,000 saved up. I love Dave Ramsey, but that did not work for me in my lifestyle. I was a little bit, I would say, more conservative in my approach. So I had about $3,000 to $5,000 saved up as I was getting out of debt. And then now that I'm out of debt, I have the full 6 months because it is just my income. So, and this can definitely change. If you have a bigger family, you might want to have closer to a year's worth of expenses saved up. So this is where the personal part of personal finances comes into play, is this is going to be different for everybody. Some people might be happy with just $1,000 saved up and be able to work through it. For me, like I said, I always take the more conservative approach. So I had about 5,000 saved up when it came to emergency fund. All right, number 6. And like I said before, surrounding yourself with people and just anything you really take in, what you surround yourself with is going to be what you think about every day. So if your goal is to get out of debt, maybe going on Instagram and seeing all these influencers buying all these things and going on all these trips isn't going to be the best thing for you where you're at right now, because filling your head with something that you want to do right now while you're trying to do something else is really going to lead to that internal like push and pull of, do I stick with my goals, or do I just go do what everybody else is doing and what I was doing before? So it is really, really easy, as we all know, to fall back into old habits. So upgrading your mindset here again with what you're choosing to do with your money, and then also who you're choosing to do it with. So look at what you're surrounding yourself with, when not even the people, like I said. So what are you like taking in every day on social media? What are you reading? What are you listening to when you go to work or when you're at work? So looking at all of those aspects really helped me as I was going on my journey as well. And then last but not least, we have, let me move this here. We have investing in your future. So like I said, this can take on multiple meanings, and this is 100% up to you how you want this to come out and what you want it to look like. So over here, you can see this lady's thinking about retirement. Maybe you want to start a business. Maybe you want to get married and you want to have kids and you don't have really a plan for that. I'm sure there's a lot of parents on here that can attest to this, that kids are expensive. I only have fur babies, and my fur babies are expensive, so I cannot imagine what kids are. And then maybe you want a cabin on the lake. Maybe you want to retire in a different state, or maybe you want to buy that cabin so you can spend more time with your family. So investing in your future can take on multiple different avenues, and you probably will have more than one that you want to be saving for. So maybe you want a larger house for your growing family. So whatever that may look like to you, writing that down and potentially putting a timeline by it too will really help you reach those goals. And then also one that I didn't put on here kind of was with retirement. So investing in your future also can mean working with a financial advisor. I work with financial advisors all day, every day. And the stuff that I see them do for clients and that we help our clients do is amazing. So if you do not have a financial advisor, really finding someone who can help you bring, your taxes together, your estate plan, your retirement plan. All of that is really going to help ease your mind as you get, where you want to go with your finances and continually changing where you're at. So just a quick recap of the 7 keys to financial wellness, according to me. Embracing curiosity and challenging your money mindset, communication, constantly improving where you're at, systems, so the logistics of everything. An emergency fund is huge, surrounding yourself with like-minded people, and what you're taking in constantly. Make sure it's, reinforcing what you're trying to do in this new lifestyle that you're doing. And then investing in your future. So the last question I always end my sessions with my current clients, any client, is what is your why? And I often hear so many people say, I just want to be debt free. Okay, great. Why do you want to be debt free? What is that going to look like if you don't have any payments to anybody? Like, what is that going to feel like? What are you going to do with your money? Maybe you want to, donate more to charity. Maybe you want to do more with your family. What is your why? And we can put this in the chat box too. I can put mine in there. But what is your why when it comes to finances and anything you do in life? Because when life knocks you down, knowing your why and what you're working towards is really going to help you get back up and stay on track. Okay, any questions? I don't know how to.
I had one question, Stacia, is if you're willing to share your PowerPoint.
Yeah, how?
I mean, if you wanted to send it to me, then I could send it to and share it with people so they can have it for reference after the conference.
I think I can do that. Yeah. Let me, I created it, so I just obviously don't want,
Gotcha. Yep.
yeah,
That's,
so I will, yeah,
your
we'll talk.
prerogative. Yep.
Okay. Oh, good. I see some questions in here. Okay. Ooh,
One question, Stacia, is do you have a recommendation of where to keep emergency funds, savings account, Roth, etc.?
So it's different, I guess, depending upon what you want the funds to be for. If it's strictly an emergency fund, I just keep mine in a regular savings account because I have access to it right away. I cannot tell you how handy that was when my car broke down, when I had to get towed, and AAA couldn't come pick me up. I just wanted to have access to the funds right away. So emergency fund, I would say just keep in a regular savings account. You could maybe do a money market if it is a longer goal. So if you're saving for, a down payment on a home or something like that, maybe a money market might be better suited for you. And then when it comes to retirement accounts, if you work with a financial advisor, just opening one with them. I know you can open traditional IRA, a Roth IRA, a CD, anything like that at a local bank. Otherwise, you do have Ameriprise, Edward Jones, Charles Schwab, Northwestern Mutual, a bunch of different companies that you can open accounts like that with.
Stacia, what are your thoughts on investing in cryptocurrency?
I don't want to get into that. So I am not a financial advisor, so I kind of stay away from like investment stuff like that. But personally, I think it could be a good tool, but I do not have any funds of my own in cryptocurrency. I think it is pretty, I don't know, it's so new. It kind of scares me, honestly. So yeah, I don't want to really touch too much on that.
Yep, that's okay. Yeah.
Let's see. Ooh, I like this. I want to be able to afford my 3 kids hockey seasons. That is a good goal. That is a good goal, mama. I like that one. Hockey is expensive. I was just at the Wild game and I was like, oh, I want my kids to play hockey. My dad's like, all right, better start saving now for it. All right. I don't know if anybody else has any questions, but I want to read these do you ever do small sessions for high school students ready to become more independent? I have not. I would be open to it. I mean, my kind of goal with what I do for my own business is to help people that are just starting out as well. So that would be fun, something to do like that. That would be really fun. Are there folks who give financial advice to those who are in debt? Yes, of course there are. So the question was, are there folks who give financial advice to those who are in debt? Yes, so you can work with myself. There are a bunch of financial coaches out there who I focus on a lot of debt consolidation and elimination. That was one of my favorite things. But there are, if you have a financial advisor, they might be able to work with you already. They might have financial planning software tools that they can help you kind of, tackle your debt or at least get an idea of what you want to do. Let's see here. I see a lot of these like retirement and travel. I love these. Everybody wants to travel, especially now that we're out of the pandemic. I just want to go to a beach. Okay, and then somebody put in there, Lutheran Social Service has a debt management plan available, and there are a bunch of free tools online. That's honestly how I started, because I didn't know there was financial coaches out there. I had no idea that was a thing. So I literally just started Googling anything I could for debt management. And there's a lot of great tools out there. There's a lot of wonky ones. But if you find something that works for you, just run with it for a while. And like I was saying in my presentation, you're constantly going to be evolving and changing your money mindset. So where you start isn't going to be where you end up. So that's the biggest thing, is we're always changing. We got to keep that kid-like mentality here, especially with finances. That's what I try to do. Make it fun. It is very important topic, but you have to make it fun too. Okay, I don't want to run over on time, so.
Yes, well, thank you very much. That was great information. And I think that's the first time since I've been doing these that we've had somebody on here doing a financial wellness session. So I think that was great information for everybody.
Yes, all right. Well, thank you so much for having me. And hopefully I didn't bore everybody too soon at 9 a.m. talking about money.
No, I think it was great.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next session, I will introduce our two speakers. We have Rebecca Sparts, who is the Director of Behavioral Health at Medica. She's a clinically licensed social worker for the last